What if I told you we could use dominoes to prove God? Crazy, right? Well, science is great for explaining the natural world as we know it. Greater questions of existence, like does God exist, require a different way of observance. For these complex questions, we need to use philosophy and logic. Knowing this, what would be a good logical argument to prove God? Well, it would go like this. Imagine you put out a lot of dominoes in order, let's say 500. If you put out all of these dominoes and then just wanted to fall, you'd push it, right? Well, yeah, obviously, you just push it, but for some reason, you just think the dominoes can make themselves fall. So you don't push it, you just think like you hope they'll fall. But that's insane. That obviously cannot happen naturally. Exactly. You can't put down dominoes and expect them to just fall on themselves without anything making it fall. You have to first push one of them down. Now let's put this in the real world. So imagine the universe is like a bunch of dominoes. You are one, and your family and dog and whatever are all one. All of these people, animals, and things are all dependent or contingent on other things. You only exist because of your parents, and your parents only exist because of their parents, and so on. Now, imagine this goes on for a long time. Imagine this domino line goes back to the formation of Earth, and then the solar system, and then our galaxy, and all the way back to the beginning of everything, the Big Bang. Now, everything else was dependent on this one moment in space and time. This moment when everything rapidly expanded from being really dense to extremely sparse. But what was the Big Bang dependent on? Or can we just stop our domino line here and the Big Bang was like the person pushing the first domino down? Well, the Big Bang was an infinitely dense singularity, expanding rapidly into the universe we see today. We do not know what happened before it, but we do know that everything was dependent on each other. What do I mean? Well, the energy of the Big Bang was dependent on space-time due to the space containing the fluctuations that dictate energy flows. According to Einstein, space and time are intertwined, and therefore dependent on each other, creating space-time. So it seems at the moment of the Big Bang, the universe was still all dependent on each other. This is a huge problem because it begs the question, where did all of this come from and how did it get its source of existence? This is a real problem that scientists actually ponder, and many of them came up with ideas like the Big Bounce, which is that the universe actually was another universe before crunching into the infinitely dense space before it expanded again into our modern universe. But this still does not answer the question because the same question goes to the last universe and the universe before. What if this process just goes on forever? Well, yeah, that could happen, but even then there's a problem. Think of the dominoes. Again, now imagine that there are an infinite amount of dominoes. Pushing one of them means the whole domino line will eventually fall. But you don't push it, instead you just think the dominoes will make themselves fall. This is just like the last problem. They literally cannot fall without the person pushing one of them down. So even with an infinite regress of dependent things and universes, we still cannot make a decision on where this source of, well, everything comes from. Theists and Christians can avoid this problem by envisioning a supernatural, supreme, infinite, and eternal God that pushed the first domino down.